So it's certainly an idea. We also produce the cotton that's needed for some of this stuff. Could be onto something with the drugs here. Let me check out drugs on my own sheets here. Drugs overall have a middling demand. Are drugs are a necessity for the people. Yeah, even in the crash that I'm sure is going to come someday, people are still going to need a bunch of these drugs. I guess the plastic comes in from the seaport, but I could make band-aids. Cotton wool here. Yeah, there is cotton wool. Some stuff easier to make than others. Ooh, water is available. Who's making water? How do we see that again? All from everyone. This is a lot of products to be checking through. How do I look for just water? It's under raw stuff. I'm going off on lots of different tangents, trying to feel out what my best option might be as a market to break into. Even the slightest whiff of competition is a good reason to stay away from it. Right, water. Ah, water's available at Seaport. It's low quality water from Sydney. Couldn't pay me to drink that stuff, but I might be able to do something with water. Bandages and band-aids, easy money. You're right at that. Question is, can I sell them in supermarkets? If so, I can just get on that and start selling them immediately for dosh. And that's money sitting on the counter if I can do it. Drugs. Oh yeah, bandages as well. Can be sold in supermarkets. Can be sold in supermarkets. If I control all of the stuff that's made for it, it's even better. Polyester doesn't count too much to this. Face masks have how much demand? Pretty low-ish demand, but cotton wool has pretty high demand. I like that. Cheese emp. I'd love to get on cheese, and since water is available, that... Oh, farming! Our cows! Milk! We've got all this leather and we don't need all this leather. But if we bring in that and we just make some salt... Do we have access to salt? I'm not going to let go of this drugs idea, it's a great idea, but what about the cheese? Can we be cheese to meet people? There's... wrong thing. Norwegian is getting in there, however... Salt is available, and if we're not getting into goat milk, and I could make a goat farm... Right, that's it! We're doing cheese! And cheese can be sold in supermarkets. Excellent, but we're also going to get on that, on the drugs that we can already make. Excellent. Opportunity arises, we grab it. We're going to make bandages, because we control both of these things. We have low tech for it, but so what? Bandages... I'm going to need a lot of supermarkets for all this. It's kind of a shame that supermarkets sell so much. Or maybe I could set up my own designated drug stores if I think I'm going to be making a lot of these. Because I'm going to want to sell my cheese in the supermarket. Might be better to have drugs in a drugstore. Alright. Alright. Let's make this stuff. What size of factories do you think we're going to need for all the drugs? Look at that, the leather bag demand is actually getting pretty high. Maybe going with just small factories is a bad idea. Nice markup on these. But that's strange, it shows here that supply is eclipsing demand, so I don't know why it's showing me the opposite at times. Oh well, game knows best. I'm still going to go with small factories, just a hunch. I think big factories are only needed for stuff that you make tons and tons of. Like fuel. In any case, I'll make as many of the drugs as possible and set up designated drug stores. And since we have access to pretty much everything here, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I'll just take out a fat loan and get this done. 9 goods, that's actually perfect for setting up my drug stores. I like it. I just hope my supplies aren't cut off of anything. But, I don't want to make stuff out of things that I myself... Nah, screw it. Man up and just do it. We are going to cheese our way to the moon, yes, after we get these drugs. 9 small factories is no small amount, so we go to the bank. we are quite happy that the... Oh yeah, we're already a Brazilian dollars in debt here. But we just borrow more. We can pay it off, it's no big deal. We could always make bonds if we don't like that. Let's check the bonds. If we put out... Oh my god, we can make a lot of bonds. And actually, that amount of annual interest isn't too much compared to the amount that we have here. And it's at a lower... We can make it a really low interest rate. The downside is I have to pay off these bonds. But I could take out loans to pay off those bonds. 3 years for 100 mil. Might be better making it 4 years. Give myself time for it. There we go. Let's slam out those bonds. Better interest rate that way. And let's get those factories going. I could just make a square of 8 of them right here. Although I'd need a warehouse to be shoving those goods through. I can do them across here. Might be easier. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Whew. Well, ready yourself for this. This is going to be a bit of setup, but that's okay. We like setup, don't we? We'll have our warehouse here. Designated drug warehouse. It's going to need all the floors on it. We're just jumping face first into the drugs industry. We see our opportunity to put our cotton to use. We put it to use. While we're at it, let's prepare ourselves for the cheese. The coming of cheese. Change out this... clear that leather, change this leather out for milk, and maybe even start ourselves a little farm. Little? Medium? Little? Can't be that much demand for goaty stuff, can there? I'd rather be ready for the future. Here we go. Livestock processing, great. The livestock will be goats to get gold milk. Cashmere, ooh, that could be useful down the line. See, it's just good to have these set up so that I have access to high quality goods out of my farms. It's kind of tempting to set up a farm for all of these goods, but unless it's being sold somewhere, it's just going to run me at a cost for a while. So, sadly, I've got to be the middleman here. There we go. I can't sell them to process until they actually get the goats in, sadly. Still, they get on that. Make sure the training is super maxed. Actually, just tell them to super max training everywhere. June, wasn't there something for planting in Remember? That was our flax, which we already took care of. Can't think of anything else I'm needing to be planting at the moment. Right, setting up these. I want band-aids. And I want to make sure that the cotton is sourced from ourselves, our own warehouse that is. Plastic I'm sure you can find on your own. Bandages. I want the cotton sourced from the warehouse. I want the flax sourced from the warehouse. I want to make cold pills. Oh, I make my own gelatin, don't I? Do I put that gelatin through the warehouse yet or not? Let's check. No, I don't. Do I need another warehouse for gelatin then? Well, I'm going to need another warehouse for farming goods anyway, so... Man, this is a lot of expenditure. I'm hoping these drugs pay off very quickly, and that I don't burn all my money very quickly. Here you go, another one of you. I've set up for that. You are going to take in the gelatin. Just make sure the gelatin's going the way we want it to. Yeah, it's fine to go to other people at an increased price. Still got our clients doing a little bit too much markup on my meat, I would dare to say. Give me more of that money, please. Good to just keep an eye on those clients, make sure they're not getting too cocksure themselves. Nicky's buying up all my goods. In any case, I'm going to let a little bit of time pass to get the gelatin into the warehouse. There we go, and then we make sure that you source your gelatin from the warehouse. Contact lenses. This is getting a little iffy because I'm buying it in for things that I don't control at all, but better just to be on top of it. And cotton wool, absolutely. that I can control, so make sure that cotton comes from my cotton warehouse. Disinfectant. Again, I don't control any of these things. I'm just blindly running into drugs thinking it's the right idea. It's going to be very funny if this doesn't pay off. And by funny, I mean I'm going to be quite sad. There you go. It's alright, this stronghold music has my back. Let's make some face masks and make sure that I source that flax fiber and cotton for myself in my warehouse. And headache pills. I don't have the tech for any of these things. I'm not sure if I want to make the tech for it. If I start on the tech, I'll at least be better than everybody else, but it's a lot of money to spend building up. I don't need to make 9 R&D centers. I could make 3 and just do a lot less research on it, but I like to max out my research when it comes to these. If somebody else decides to research on us, they're going to run circles around me. But then I can just undercut them with low-price, crap-quality stuff. The drugs will flow regardless. I'm just going to give that a little bit of time to actually operate. And that milk needs to come in through here. Goat's milk. Milk? There we go. That's just regular milk, though. Right, I need to select here. Frozen goats, goatee milk, and cashmere. Bring it all, please. And once that all is coming through, I'm going to get it processed through the warehouses. Maybe that was a bit big of a warehouse for these drugs. Well, too bad, we've done it now. So the milk comes in, but so does the goat milk. And we're going to bring in frozen goat, and we're going to bring in... What was the last thing? I think it was cashmere. Not too happy about keeping cashmere in places that should be having food only, but put you in there anyway. These should not be an internal sale. I don't mind other people trying to buy it up, because then I just jack up the prices for them. And I'm going to get those goat stuff out in the supermarkets. Supermarket's going to be low on space after everything. Can you retail frozen goats? We absolutely can. Frozen goats can be sold in supermarkets, general stores, convenience, and discount mega stores. Can't sell goat's milk though, but I can turn it into goat's milk cheese. Now, these are on internal sale and should be at cost. I need to check the costs on these. Look at that. Someone else is way on the milk stuff. Norwegian Wood. Norwegian Wood's... they've got crap quality milk, though. I like this. Can't sell milk, but they're still in the market with it. Why? What are they doing with it? Who's your clients for milk? You are your own client for milk. Because you make cappuccinos out of your own milk. Well, sorry to say, our milk is better. Still, let's not get too distracted here. I need the costs on these. What's the cost of gelatin? Gelatin at cost is 7 cents. Milk at cost is 3 cents. Doesn't matter if it's off by a few percentage here or there. Goat's milk at cost is 1 cent. There we go. So I can sell this internally to myself at such rates. Cashmere, finally, is only 2 cents. Wow, but the markup, the expected markup of it is rather nice. Really? It's only 2 cents to make cashmere? I've been past a cashmere shop before. I'm getting ripped off. Are there other companies into drugs? We are the only one getting into drugs right now, as best as I can tell. It's going to be pretty awful if we find out that we were just wrong and there are loads of other drug companies out there, but nope. Nobody else out there has market share on drugs, so lucky us. Right. Once all of these places are producing their drugs, you're still waiting on things. Chemical minerals, where can you get those from? Look everywhere, not just me. Seaport, right, so you're going to seaport that up. Once they're all producing it, you're going to shove them through the warehouses, enable external sale, and set up a drugstore in every city. And then we should have enough milk flowing through the system to start up our cheese production. Oh, we should have plenty already, but I want to deal with one problem at a time. You're still dragging your heels here. What's the problem? You're making those contact lenses good. That's coming out. Okay, everything's ready except for the contact lenses, and now those are ready too. So we go and we enable internal sale on all of them. Oh, I can cut down my work by pressing I on it. If any of them look like they have a really high quality, I'm going to up the price, but not right now. Nah, nothing looks to have astounding quality. That's probably because the technology behind them is a big part of these. Well, that's price versus quality, but if we look at this on the manufacturer's guide, production tech, yeah, was as high as 85% for the headache pills. So I'm actually putting out headache pills that don't cure your headache. Contact lenses, which are all sharp and bumpy. I once tried contact lenses, I could not handle it. I don't mind touching my eyes or stuff, but there was just something about putting those in, day out. Couldn't hack it. Couldn't Admiral hack it. Right, let's bring in all these drugs. Should be able to just search for... can't I just go drugs here? No, it doesn't let me just do the drugs. That's a bit of a shame. It's going to be a bit of a pain to find them all. Alright, us then... Band-aids, bandages, cold pills, contact lenses. What even is a cold pill? I assume it's a pill you take when you have a cold, but what does it do? Drugs in the search bar is something you learned. Is it now? Amazing. But I've forgotten what I just put in. We put in contact lenses last, so cotton wool's next. Disinfectant. It's so glad that when I learn something, other people remember it. Because I sure don't remember it. Why is fertilizer a drug? Probably best not to ask these questions. Once these are processed through the warehouse, we're going to check them all. It feels good doing this in bulk. See, at the start of the game, we were like, ooh, eggs. Ooh, maybe we can do chickens now. Now it's just, brrr, here's 9 types of drugs. Although granted, we're doing this on borrowed money. We took out another 100 million from the bank to make this possible. All needs to be done at cost. What's the cost of these things anyway? Does anything have significant cost? That's the question. See, these things are 9 cents, 30... Okay, some things that actually cost money are these contact lenses. Better do it one at a time then. So band-aids are... There we go, band-aids are like 6 cents, so there you go, on internal sale of course. You are 9 cents for the bandages. Cold pills are 36. You're noticing the things that I needed more goods from external sources being quite a bit more expensive. 6 quid 53. Holy moly, I just saw the markup I'm going to be doing on my contact lenses. And to think they are so horrible. It's only 10 cents for a bag of cotton wool balls. Still, that's actually more expensive than I imagined it would be. Is that mostly freight? Yeah, half of that is freight. Disinfectant is 41 cents. Fertilizer's a weird one, but it's 82 cents. Did I miss face masks? Of course I did. 10 cents a face mask. Don't get ripped off on those. Take it from a man who has never in his life bought a face mask. Could not imagine paying for that sort of stuff. Right. These were the pain medicine that doesn't work. And it's 30 cents. There we go. Now, the expensive part of this whole operation is making sure that I can sell those, and I need drugstores everywhere. Fortunately, I think drugstores are quite small. I'm hoping they're small. I also hope they exist. Anyone seeing a drugstore? Starting to worry here, because I'm not seeing a drugstore. Uh-oh, where can I sell these? There is drugstore. Where's drugstore? I'm not doubting it's here, I'm just... Ah, here we go. Green building. Yep, that helps. And now we set these up. Well, at first I set one up as much as I can, because then I can just copy-paste it. 54 here, 48 here. 33 here, that's a bit sad. The whole layout of this... Ooh, 60 here is quite good. Alright, now... I'm just going to set all of this up. And I'm going to make sure these go in. So link, warehouse, still on drugs. So band-aids, bandages, cold pills, contact lenses, cotton wool, disinfectant. And I think this is a setup that we are still going to have till the end of the game. A drugstore in every city with all these drugs. There'll be more drugs that I have to get on, but there's no... I like things that I set up and I don't think I'll ever have to change them. What are the last three? Face masks. Disinfectant. Oh, I just did face mask. Wrong thing to link up. Then what? Fertilizer and headache pills? Better make sure I got that right. Pills, fertilizer, face mask, disinfectant, cotton wool. Yeah, that seems about right. And of course, you're in charge of this, Beatrice. You should be in charge of every new retail store. Otherwise, I'll forget. And I tend to keep it paused whenever I do this stuff. Make sure the training's up. And now we duplicate this firm everywhere. Grimsby. God, you'd need some of my headache pills in Grimsby, even if they don't work. 51 there looks quite nice. The scouring about I'm doing here is I'm looking for the best customer traffic index, because that allows you to attract more customers for where you park your business. I don't think I'll do better than 63 next to my existing supermarket. Chengdu. 51 is quite nice. If they could just color code the ground when you're doing this, it would be a godsend. Let's go 54 here. Toulouse. I'm glad they have this though. Imagine having to reset this up for every single one you do, but here I can just blueprint a shop and put it down here, there, and everywhere. Feels great. 63, 84. Yes, please. And then we're back where we started with our first one. Well, that blew through all of the bank's money. I might have a hard time getting my cheese going, but a hard time is not an impossible time. Let's see what we can do. First, I'm going to check my own database on the demand for cheese. Cheese is its own group under C. Yeah, there must be people thinking, why is he not doing a database for it? Well, too bad. The demand for cheese is very, very high. People demand like 10 times as much cheese as they do... well, I guess those cotton balls. Which means I don't think small factories are going to cut it. I might even need large factories for cheese. Give the drugstores to your CTO. I just did. I'm pretty sure I just did. Drugstore. Yeah, there she go. There she goes. Beatrice is in charge of them, so she'll be setting the prices on them. Right, yeah, I blew through a ton of my money. Do I really want to get into the cheese right now? The answer is yes. Can I take another loan? The answer is I didn't initially take that loan. I took out a bond. Well, you gotta spend money to make money, and we're gonna be spending that money. Since we have access to the goat's cheese, we can get in on all the cheeses. However, I want to use my existing supermarkets for this. And my supermarkets... Let's see if we can find one. My supermarkets currently sell... Why are you selling someone else's frozen fish? Taking into account the fact that they can also sell the frozen lamb, I'm only going to have 3 spaces for more goods. But cheese is good. Cheese is great. I might even be better selling the cheese, even rather than some of the stuff I have right now. Or I could only make 3 types of cheese and sell those. Might be better to go for the 3 types of cheese, because then I can avoid some competition and I can go for the best cheese. I also need to work on my cheese tech. I'm gonna find cheese a word I can't say anymore by the time this is all done. And the tricky thing is I don't know the best prices on these, but if I had to guess, it's gonna be Parmigiano, mozzarella, and goat milk cheese. Probably worth more than cream cheese. Also, I want stuff that my milk has the best quality impact on, because my milk is good quality. Not my goat... well, actually, no, not my goat milk, actually. But that does include cream cheese. The difficult questions one must ask themselves when looking at the cheese market. Parmigiano, mozzarella, and... I got no other use for goat milk, so let's do the goat's milk cheese as well. Even though the goat's milk doesn't play into it that much. And we need to import a lot of water. Alright, let's do it then. Factory, medium factory, 3 of. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, I mean, I guess so. It's got to go somewhere. Where's the cheese going to go? Am I going to sling it into this warehouse, or should it have its own dedicated warehouse? A dedicated cheese warehouse sounds like madness. Let's do it. Another large warehouse, this one just for cheese. Better set you up like so. Keep the training, well, I'll remember to max out the training later on. Factory, medium, 1, 2, 3. That didn't work. Worked in my head though. Set up 1 for goat's milk. Set up 1 for mozzarella. And set up 1 for Parmigiano. Make sure that we source our cheese properly. Milk, rather. Did I actually link it from the warehouse? Of course I did. Where can you get salt? I gotta remember F2 for all suppliers. Ah, damn you, Nikki. The shoe is on the other foot now. We have to pay the Zunis Church and their CEO Vumer for access to their salt. Water, however, I can import cheap, crappy Sydney water. Similar story here. Get my milky warehouse. Get that salt. Get that water. Get my own goat's milk from my own warehouse. Why did it feel like I had only one choice for getting this milk before? No, it was just at the top here. We're not the only ones making milk, but we have the best milk around, so that's okay. Are cheese crackers a thing in-game? I don't think so, but cheese itself I'm pretty sure can be used in something else. Would it be Emmental cheese? Yeah, here we go. You can actually make a cheese sandwich, and a cheeseburger, and a lasagna, some macaroni cheese, some mashed tatties, and some frozen pizza. What is the world coming to? Oh, mozzarella itself can be used to make that margarita. Goat's milk cheese is a bit of a black sheep of the child, if you'll excuse the pun. Cream cheese for cheesecakes, and we went over Emmental. So yeah, the cycle of cheese continues on. Is this music from CapLab? The music playing right now is from CapLab. There's also Stronghold music and Transport Tycoon music mixed in with my playlist. And I will, if I'm reminded to, I will add in Banished next as well. Right, so internal sale is disabled for these, because I want people to buy my cheese. The markup isn't that hot, probably because I'm having to buy resources from other people. Also, mozzarella cheese is low price. Actually, all cheese is at a lower price than I was expecting here. I'm a little disappointed. There's still markup, to be sure, but... I mean, I can't get that piece of Parmigiano for $3.30 here. Maybe I could have in 1993. Of course, half of that is cost and freight. Well, let's not worry about it. Let's bring it in. I want the cheese, and I want my own cheese. Goat's milk, mozzarella, and Parmigiano. And then this stuff is going to be entering my supermarchés. Got 2 of them here. Come on, get that Parmigiano in as well. Internal sale at cost. All of them are at cost about... Oh, actually, it's very different. Mozzarella, Parmigiano, and goat is like 20, 40, 60. And I've already forgotten what I said and how I said it, but it's probably not important. You were probably the 21. Parmigiano was... Why is Parmigiano not flowing here? What's the hold up? There we go, in you come. There we go. And now let's make sure that our supermarkets are taking care of that. Supermarket, and go between them all. Yeah, why are you selling carrots? We're buying in the seaport's carrots and selling them ourselves. Well, it's making a profit, so I won't complain. Ah, well, it probably sounded like I was complaining, because I was complaining. Right, cheese from our warehouses. Sell the goat's milk, sell the mozzarella, sell the Parmigiano. Same here, another floor. Use that design, bring in the same ones. Annoyingly, although she can't change things I put in for purchase, she can add things into purchase herself. So if I left this blank, she'd fill it up with whatever. But if I fill it in with these cheeses, she'll never change those. There's nothing more permanent than a temporary solution. Much as I would like to think that these supermarkets that I set up are going to be good forever, they won't. I'm almost certainly going to have to rejig my supermarkets. But that's for the time when I have so much money that I can be concerned with such jigging. For now, I cannot. Alright, we've got cheese. The cheese is flowing. Let's make sure back in Vancouver. Sucks that Vancouver is our HQ, but what can we do? As long as Vancouver has the lowest real wage rate, it's where I'm going to be employing all the people that I can. But hey, at least we're going to train them all as hard as we can. Why are you starting in food in particular? Are you going to complete the farmer's market and then move on to something else? Asks Celestia. That's a good question. Let me save while I think up an answer. And even take a drink while I think up an answer. There we go. Nothing more belittling than telling somebody to hydrate. I know how to drink. Well, I think when you play real world, the best thing you can do is immediately go into the fuel industry. It makes so much money, it's very easy to do, you don't face the competition very often. Yeah, it's too damn good, and the demand for it is insane. That was an option here, but I decided against that, and then I looked at what the AIs were likely to compete on, and I saw there was just an open gap in raw food, and since I haven't done that before, I was like, okay, let's go into the whole farming business. The nice thing about farming is you don't need to research for it either, and the earlier you get into farming, the better, because as you farm and train your guys, the quality goes up. So look at this, the quality of our chickens is 84. It starts out at 30. Anybody making a new farm is going to have quality 30 chickens coming out of it. So I just wanted to get the good quality stuff flowing. I'd be able to sell it in supermarkets, and if anybody wanted to be my client on these, let's try and find an example client. Oh, we scared off some of our guys with our expensive leather. I'll lower the price to try and entice them back in. Didn't we have a ham client? Yeah, we do. Somebody becomes our client, I can jack up the price for them. Either price them out or force them to be paying me the big money. Sadly though, it's not that easy to check who your clients are. I'm kind of wishing there was an easier way to see. And maybe there is and I don't see it. Jeff Wayne's supermarkets, for example. They want to buy our frozen goats. And now I can say, well, you want my goats? You pay for my goats. It feels good. Yeah, I think I've just employed so many people in Vancouver that I've done pretty good in the unemployment rate. Okay, I want to research how to make better cheese. Goat's milk, mozzarella, and Parmiago. Let's make sure that we have R&Ds set up for them. Actually, don't do that when I could just use the lesser known duplication button. And 1, 2, 3. Let's get in those cheese people. You are going to do the Parmiago for 2 years. You cheesy people are going to do the mozzarella. It is mozzarella I'm doing, right? Of course it is. And you folks are going to do the goat's milk. Emmental cream cheese looks like money. It's just sitting on the counter. The problem is I don't have supermarkets set up to sell them, and I don't really have the money to be going and thumping down loads of supermarkets. Supermarkets are more than twice as big as something as like a drugstore, so it's a lot cheaper for me to go and thump my drugstores down than a bunch more supermarkets. I should do the rounds on my supermarkets, make sure they're all actually being profitable. Same for all of my retail stores. Thankfully, the game offers you an easy way to do this. Go to my firms, check out my retail stores, and make sure everyone is profitable. There was a bit of a hiccup in Toulouse for a while. I'm going to blame that on Beatrice. Probably dumping and buying loads of frozen fish if I had to blame her for something, and I will. The thing is, she should be getting in our lamb now. I'd rather she preferred buying in our frozen lamb than getting in frozen fish from God knows where. So, get off of frozen fish. Is there a hotkey for this? There is. There is. I can go F1, F4 to be all products me. And then I can check out frozen and go frozen. Oh, it was goat. But yeah, I can put in frozen goats now. That's what we should be getting in. None of this frozen fish lark. There we go. The fish have gone. The goats are in. She should hopefully... Oh, yeah. Crikey. Oh, man. It's good money to be made in that goat. Although, are you sourcing it from the right place? Yes and no. I didn't change the price of this to cost. I don't know how much frozen goats cost me. Frozen goats cost me 13 cents each. Well, it's not each, it's probably per pound or so. Yeah, 1 pound of that. There we go. Okay, so let's make sure that she's getting those goats in. Yeah. I don't care how good beer is doing. We sell our own products rather than somebody else's. That way we're not at the mercy of price agreements. So again, link this up with, no, not beer, but F. Yeah, nice to know that F1 changes that immediately. We should just change this for goat, game of all time. And it's from warehouse, so that's fine. I don't care how activated these almonds are. Actually, that's not bad market share, not bad pricing either. But again, we're paying somebody else for those, and I don't like that. So, change these out, change it for my frozen goats, and we'll do this everywhere. No, say no to almonds. F1. Oh man, these hotkeys are saving my bacon here. And say no to carrots either. Link these up with my frozen goats. So there we go, frozen goats everywhere. The cycle continues. Now, unfortunately, I blew like all of my money, all of the bank's money, so I need to hunker down now at long last. But hopefully all that cheese that we have out there is going to make us the good money. A man can hope, right? I'm a little concerned at how much these things actually cost me. Uh-oh. Banks, if you wouldn't mind being so kind, I seem to have run out of money. Thank you. 114 million due to the banks, another 100 million due in bonds. We better hope that this money comes through. All the while, the other AIs are going to be making more and more money than us. I wonder if anybody's making $1 billion yet. No, actually, it's promising to see that some of my rivals, their operational profit has fallen quite a bit. It's probably that they had a new software release, and when that came out, it all sold and then it stopped selling, and then I have to wait until they research a better way to do it. The ravens are crashing, I don't know why. Drugs not making money? It'll take a while for the market share to actually get there for the drugs. They don't immediately all get sold. In fact, why don't we explain ourselves by seeing it in action? D for drug, that's S. D for drugstore, and let's cycle through our drugstores. So here we go, these are our band-aids. Undeniably better quality than what there is available right now. And by that I mean worse quality and less better advertised, crappy branding, but since we sell them cheaper, we're overall better rated. That's the case for all these drugs because Beatrice can actually manage those things between price and rating. But that doesn't matter, it still takes a while for you to get traction on the market share here. But if I speed the game up, you'll see it grow and grow and grow, but I don't like speed 5ing this game. I feel like I'll miss something vitally important. But that's okay, the profits will grow and grow from those drugs. It's just I really need to dig myself out of debt right now. Jake is out there selling placebos at a low price and making a killing. I will eventually get research on better drugs. And I'll probably backwards integrate this stuff when I see the opportunity to. But right now, unless one of my supplies just stop, I don't see a good reason to backwards integrate. I do want to set up R&D centers for the drugs though, I can't deny that. We're still only on Tech 30 briefcases, how can this be? Also, shopping marathon from the goldfish industries, I think that's a casual game. I want R&D, I really want R&D. But I don't have money unless I borrow lots of money, and that's not stuff that would pay itself off quickly. Still, I like seeing this concentrated industry over here. God bless Vancouver for being so cheap. Okay, the profits are growing. We made like triple this off of just gas when we were playing before. But that was when I had demand at its default state in real world. I have artificially reduced demand by 70%, meaning that everything is much less profitable to get into. If we'd kept demand high, then all this frozen beef would be flying off the shelves. As it is now, we make much more than we need. Although for some reason it still says the demand is sky high. I don't know why, because if we look over at the warehouse where it's going in, you can see that it's not sky high there. So, I don't actually know. Oh Christ, Fushia's Workers Guild has actually come up with manga. Well, they've just invented it, they're not producing any yet, but we might check and see what kind of manga they're making later on. I think I've scared away a lot of my clients. They're onto my game now of jacking up prices. My eggs are still quite popular though. Let's increase the prices so that people have to pay us more for them. Yeah, if you know of an easier way to check the clients for your goods, please let me know, because this is one of the things that I really, really love in the game, is just being a wholesaler and screwing everybody who's reliant on your goods. Like, for example, the Skelly Syndicate. They are most of the demand for my cotton right now. Why is that? Because they're making shoes. They're making shoes that they have an enormous amount of money they're making off of them. And the quality of them are through the roof. They could charge so much more for those shoes. They're selling the shoes themselves in this store for too much money. Can't have this. It has to change. So let's go back to Vancouver, back to my cotton farm, and we are the only source of cotton. He will have to pay whatever we charge for these, unless he wants to stop making shoes. So I think it's only fair that we charge. Ooh, I can't have negative. I actually think it's a very bad thing to have negative. Haven't tested it. I mean, maybe he would. Well, actually, let's see. Just how much is he willing to pay for these? What if I put it at $6.15? Is he still gonna buy my cotton? He has no alternative. He has very literally no alternative. Monthly purchase is actually going down. maybe he's not wanting to buy quite so much of it. Yeah, actually a price that high is hurting me if he's not going to be buying so much of it. There we go. He's still going to buy it like that? No, I think he's cancelling his imports of it. So you gotta be careful with them. Treat them mean, but keep them keen. So I think it's best not to have negative quality. The AI probably has something that says never buy negative quality. Ooh, central interest rate's been reduced, so I might be able to refinance. My current loans are out at that and above, so what I could probably do is just take a... Wow, I could take a lot of money out at that rate. See, I like that. Let's take that out and then repay off these existing loans. So, well, starting with the most expensive ones. Yep. And then there's no point in having all this money around that I'm just paying interest on. There we go. And our own profits are going way up now. 270. We've practically doubled our profit margins thanks to getting into cheese and drugs. The question is, what's really making the money right now? I'd like to pass a little bit more time so that we know we're wrapping our hand around the market share. But it's not really budging from there, is it? Okay, I trust you, Beatrice. Let's see what's actually making us the dough here. I love the idea that we're just selling placebos, though. I like the way you phrased that, too. I think I'll get in on researching better drugs now. I would hate to be caught with my pants down when a competitor just comes in with just better research alone and taking me out like that. So if we look to our products, it's actually a really good spread on things that are profitable. The leather looks to be, as a single bunch, particularly good for us, especially those bags and briefcases. But everything's got a very healthy profit margin. Nothing here is jumping out at me and saying you could be making a lot more money off of me. Except, I suppose, linen. But how do I even have a profit margin on linen? The wealthy furries are in on the linen market. It's a semi-product, but who's buying my linen? Let's check out our linen factory, see what's happening there. Oh god, it's hard to find what's what, thankfully. You can hit this, and then I can spy that that's my linen factory. Well, I don't have clients, and this can't be sold anywhere, so I have no idea why linen is showing up as a profitable thing. Maybe, for a short while I think somebody was buying my linen, but... Ooh, come out of there. The wealthy furries have established their own linen over in Chengdu. Its quality is better than ours. I don't have tech done on linen, and I don't think I ever will. Yeah, just based on their better tech. Their overall rating's pretty high. Okay, that being how it is, I'm actually going to try and compete with you on that. I don't know who's getting that linen from you, but let's have... Wait, it costs me a lot to make this linen. I shouldn't be selling it so cheap. It's still a profit for me if I sell it to anyone, but let's put it down there. I also want to know what's happening with that linen. Let's go and check out the wealthy furries. They've got linen... Wearing his shades, can't show his face because he works for the suspiciously wealthy furries. Anyway, you are making linen. Why? You are making coloured backpacks out of your own linen. But if that's the only... Oh my, lots of people are buying up these backpacks at good markup. Bothersome, but he's just making money. It's not actively hurting me. It would just be nice if somebody else wanted to buy my linen instead of his, but if he's just feeding it to himself, it's no big deal. Frozen goat, the corner store of the economy. Yeah, I wanted to look more at how my money was coming in. Contact lenses making me big money. Surprising, given how horrible they are. Frozen goats, not really a big market for the frozen goats right now. A little bit of money was made on feathers and cashmere. Oh, so somebody did buy my cashmere. Why and who and for what purpose? Yeah, they would have bought cashmere from here. Yeah, some profit was made on cashmere. Why? Maybe it's just showing it from when it went into the warehouses. That's possible. Because it doesn't look like anybody else is wanting to buy it from me. I should have considered that. Oh well, no big deal. Yeah, leather goods is doing well, and you're right, linen factory is probably internal sale. I wonder if I can get rid of internal sale from these numbers. Yes, I can bring it to just retail. Good idea. Good idea. So just based on retail, things are looking good. Based on production, who cares? But retail, yeah, those leather bags and leather briefcases. Leather's been a real champion here. Shame I can't sort this. Show pricing policy? Oh, I can do individual policies for individual goods. That's cool, but it sounds like too much work. You've done a great job, Beatrice. I will happily double your salary, but I won't happily double it again, so please stop asking me for raises. Yeah, our lenses are the cutting edge of eyesight improvement. I like it. But you know what else I like? Making more money, and we'll be able to make more money if our drugs are better quality. It's gonna help with the fact that I pay so much for the goods because I'm not doing backwards integration. My supply... Holy cribbins, who's charging so much for polyester? The skellies. Polyester needs oil and chemical minerals. I'm kind of glad that he's going through that rather than me. But look at the markup he's doing. 1000%. Damn it. That's why it's good to have your own stuff, but only if you can afford the initial cost of that. Right, I want 9 R&D centers working full pelt, researching better drugs. It will make me more money. But I need to know more about talents that are out there. So, unless there are 81 specialists in drugs, I'm going to have to make some cuts somewhere. It says there's 30, but we know there's not 30. How many are there actually? We're looking only in Vancouver. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 30. 30 means I'm going to have to do a lot slower research than I'd like on my drugs, or I'll have to do R&D in every city. I don't know which of those I prefer, but I can't help but notice that everybody is cheaper and crappier in Vancouver. Somebody could really run around me by getting the better people over in Chengdu, for example. But I like the low costs of operating in Vancouver, I can't deny it. I don't actually know what... I don't know how much skill matters, but it seems to be pretty linearly correlating with the salaries that they demand. I haven't bought out any companies, Dissident. I barely have any money to be buying anything right now. Here I am just trying to think how to bring in skilled, in inverted commas, researchers. Okay, I have an idea. It's not a good one, but it's what I'm going to do anyway. R&D for our drugs. And would you look at that, there's space for 3 of them right here. 1, 2, 3. And we're going to have a new way of doing it. It's going to be product tech R&D, 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 R&D. Link, link. Link, 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 link. And I'll get all the teams I can for drugs. And now they're going to have their own little R&D projects, which are sadly not going to be very effective, but we're going to do it for everything. Band-aids, wow, that is some crap tech increase. But it's probably better to start it and just keep it going. That way anybody who wants to fight me actually has to do something rather than nothing. 5 years is even tempting, but I always like to do these things on 2. This is almost not worth the cost, but whatever. Yeah, a 9 increase isn't good. I just have to hope that nobody actually fights me on this. Bandages, band-aids. We also make cold pills. I'm going by memory here. And I'm going to save this and immediately Wait, did that link together like that? Shouldn't. And use it here, unlink it, and then delete it, because I don't want this nonsense ever again. And then we do the same here. Bring in all the druggies. Bring in all the druggies. And bring in all the druggies. And once more. Bring in all the druggies. Bring in all the druggies. And bring in all the druggies. Let's make sure we get everything else R&D'd up here. What do we do? Contact lenses. Eventually we can figure out how to file down those contact lenses. We do cotton wool. And we do face masks. It's getting worse and worse as we just go to the bottom of the barrel of people that can do this stuff. We do fertilizer, as I recall. Wait, did I just change? No, I don't think I changed anything here. We do headache pills. And the last one is... What's the other thing we do? Disinfectant, I think. Yeah, that looks like disinfectant to me. Alright, so now we are very, very slowly going to be doing some R&D. I don't know how training affects R&D, guys, but there you go. Right. Can you possibly push harder into petrol? I haven't pushed into petrol at all, and I don't think anybody has. It is an option, and I might get into it. It's not going to be as profitable as when I ran it previously, because like I said, I've dropped demand by 70%, but having access to oil is appealing. I mean, I'd build up the money and then I'd buy out the oil and then Bob's your uncle. Question is, is anybody else in the oil? Doesn't look like they are. That means I have to source the best oil. Again, I'd rather source it from here. Oh, ho, ho, ho. Oh, me oh my. Quality 98 oil, available in Vancouver, the cheapest place. I like it a lot. I want it, but it costs 400 million. Ah, it hurts. Oh wow, yeah, the very first one we saw was a big win. I want that. But it costs 300 million. I just have to hope that nobody else gets an oil between now and then. Ooh, there's 97 oil in Grimsby. Costs a lot more for the land again. The real wage rating in Vancouver drives down the prices of things like buying that land. I'm not even seeing any oil on the minimap unless there's some here, which there is. Quality 62, garbage, but the same price as we'd pay in Vancouver. And oil here, quality 50, wow, it's a whole heap of ass out there, but maybe I will get into the petrol after all. We just did the cheese and we are looking for a new thing to get into. Yeah, why not? Meaning, we should probably look for talent on petrol-related stuff. HR, view talents in Vancouver for gasoline products. Again, people aren't very good at doing that around here. But as long as there's no competition, I wouldn't be too opposed to just steaming ahead with these guys. Again, much better people out there, but I'll make do with crappier people if they can just get to bloody work. Yeah, it is... I didn't want to do it first because it's what we did first last time, but now that we've set up in multiple industries, I don't have a problem going into it since we do need to do it eventually. Leather goods, farmed goods, pharmaceuticals, cheese. I'm not going to delay it just because... well, I'm not going to delay it. Unless somebody else is already in on it. We need to check that out. Products, all from everybody. Go down to gasoline, A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Virgin market share, we want that. Another nice thing, compared to when we did this before, is that other goods might be available by now. For example, biofuel, I think, needed sunflowers, didn't it? It does, but sunflowers aren't available. But sugar is available, and I could set up a little farm for sunflowers. I doubt there's that much demand for sunflowers, probably one small farm could do it. Who wants sunflowers? Hand lotions, sunflower oil, and biofuel. Yeah, if I just made myself a little sunflower farm, and perhaps even my own little sugar farm, I could handle that. Farmer's Guide, tell me more. We might not have money right now, but we have good income. And that means that more people are willing to give us more money, so we can just keep ourselves floating along on debt as long as we continue to grow. It's how it works, just perpetual growth. If you just never slow down, things will work out fine. Sunflowers. No, not save game. This game could be a bit odd on its hotkeys at times. Why would pressing S here mean I want to save my game? It's June right now. That's sesame though. Where are my sunflowers? March, so I just missed that. What about sugar? Sugarcane grows in August. Ooh, that's a couple of months from now. So we can set ourselves up a little sugar farm. Maybe not even a little one. I could see a need for sugar. Who's currently in on the sugar market? There's so much to deep dive into. It's so good. If you're intellectually hungry, then this is just great for you. Intellectually is the wrong word, but some kind of brain hungry. Sugarcane. Who is doing the sugarcane? I need to look into products from everybody. I need to look at raw. And sugar isn't raw, is it? It's something else. What does sugar come under then? It's not livestock products. It's the word I'm looking for. It's not going to be food either. Plant products, maybe. Good idea. It is a plant. Would you look at that? Somebody's in on the sugar already. But who could it be? In Chengdu, Andromeda produces sugar, but it's crap sugar. We can do better than that in Vancouver. Right, let's make it so. So, set up a Meacham farm. I think Meacham should be enough sugar for the world. And our farms tend to grow out in this direction, so... there's a reason I don't like that. Let's put it down here instead. You are going to be all the sugar any man could ever need. Super maxed out. Grow a... this is really tedious. I need to find somewhere that has blueprints for these already set up for lots of sugar, but what can you do? Grow a crop, grow some sugar. AS. 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 This is doubtlessly more sugar than any man could ever really need. But there we go, loads of sugar coming in. I already have this warehouse for materials that come out of farms, so the sugar can go through there. And I also wanted a wee farm for sunflowers, because I don't think many people are going to need sunflowers. One small one, anywhere I can shove in a wee 2x2 is fine, so this will do. What a baby farm right there. Sunflowers aren't going to be ready for ages, but this will just prevent me from forgetting. What's the alternative? Oh, livestock, no thank you. Hang on, maybe I could... no layout plans found. I need to see if there's someone that's already put together blueprints for this. Because otherwise it's just going AS, this time sunflowers, AS, this time sunflowers. It's going to be almost a whole year until this stuff actually does anything for me, but I just want it set up. Small farms don't have a lot of cost. AS sunflowers, AS sunflowers. Alright, that's us prepping for the biofuel. Again, I could buy in that sugar, but I certainly don't want to pay the freight for bringing sugar over here, only to pay the freight to pull the biofuel elsewhere later on. So, gasoline, with that taken care of. I'm not going to be producing any of this myself. I don't even know how to make beeswax. Oh, I can make a hive? Tempting. How many uses are there for honey in this game? Honey is used for bottled honey, cereal bars, and the beeswax is used for wax, shampoo, candles, floor wax, and chalk. But it also exists right now. Somebody is already out there with the beeswax. Who's making beeswax? Also, what kind of good was beeswax? It was a livestock product, surely? No, livestock semi-pro, beeswax. Well, I am surprised here, but wealthy furries are into their bees. Is there no level they won't stoop to? Greater Denmark and the Danse Macabre are involved in honey, but in what way? Well, the beeswax at least. It says it cannot be sold, so they're just making it for some reason. Oh, they're selling out on e-commerce. That's even weirder. There's an online demand for beeswax. I'm not seeing it here, but they are selling it through there. That's kind of weird, but again, we try to keep a healthy distance, a healthy, safe distance between us and the suspiciously wealthy. Getting back to it though, if we ignore the shampoo, which we could make, but I think well, there's no good reason not to make it, truthfully. I might get on the shampoo. The goods are available. I'd still be making markup on it. I would just have to backwards integrate this later on. And the rest is oil, and stuff that we have access to. So there's no good reason not to do this except for my staggering amount of debt. But I know the solution to my debt, and the answer is ultra debt. Give me another, I don't know, 200 million. Thank you. You gotta remember we have those bonds to pay off as well. Okay, I'm not buying the oil just yet. I'm going to do the very unfortunate thing of importing oil from a foreign seaport. That's bad for a lot of reasons. I don't control the flow of it, the price of it, yeah, the quality is garbo. But it's just to get everything flowing. As soon as I have my 300 million and everything's set up for it, then I'm almost certainly going to want to replace my crappy oil with oil that I source from the rich fields of Vancouver. So we're going to be importing it from Grimsby. But we're still going to be doing it over here because everything's cheaper to do in Vancouver. All sugar is crap, it's the addictiveness that counts. Jake, your crops. What about my crops? I don't know what you're talking about. I've already set up the sunflowers and the sugar. I'm sure they'll get to work eventually, especially if they have some training. Right, since I have access to everything, let's just set up the factories. I reckon large factory will be enough. Mega factory was kind of needed previously, but with the demand lowered by 70%, I reckon large factories will be enough. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 5. These things are just never quite the size you need for them, are they? How about we do you here and here and... Yeesh, none of it looks good. This is why I like to be the mayor. I can move these roads. That's just how powerful you are as a city mayor. Yeah. Oh well, I'll put them around here then. 1, 2, 3. 3 for the types of fuel. Let me bring up my supply and demand thing here. Maybe I can share it with you again. Can we bring that up here? Yeah, why not? Actually, bring you up a bit. So what I'm looking for when doing this kind of thing, and let's not have it cut off either, is G for gasoline, A, B, C, D, E, F, G. And I still scroll past it. And I'm looking at this. So there's pretty high demand for gasoline, similarly high for diesel, drops off for biofuel, and drops off entirely for car shampoo and motor lubricant. So you definitely want to focus on big factory for gasoline. Probably still big for diesel, but when you start going down, you'll want a medium for bio and small for these. I suspect. I don't have a good eye for these, and it's going to change depending on how the populations change, but this should do for now. Didn't demand increase by 5 since there are more cities? Yes. Yeah, that's a good point that I didn't even consider there, isn't it? Yeah. Maybe I will want a mega factory for that then. At least a mega factory for the gasoline. Yeah, you make an excellent point there. I've forgotten entirely. Nothing new there. Forgetting is what I do best. Okay then, mega factory set up for pure old gasoline. And let's make sure we can source your oil accordingly. No, not goat oil. This doesn't look like oil. Get me oil, you idiot. Grimsby. Grimsby gets me the oil. The freight cost is ridiculous. It's $30 to bring the oil in from Grimsby. But we'll just have to suck that up for now. So bring that over. And this large one. This gives me a good comparison between the large and the mega factory then. So this one's going to be set up for the diesel fuel. And again, make sure you source that from Grimsby. And you are going to be... Shame we don't have the sunflowers for that. Motor oil lubricant is pretty low. I actually want this one set up for biofuel, but we don't have the sunflowers yet, and we're not going to have it for a year. So I guess you're just going to sit here smelling like roses for a wee while. We'll set up a couple of small factories for the car shampoo and the motor lubricant. Car shampoo and motor lubricant, and I'll trust them to find their own goods for it. And on top of that, I'm going to want more R&D on this. Hopefully there's plenty of people available for it. Yeah, good call. I forgot there's 5 cities somehow. Gasoline products. How many people are available? Are there actually 30? Maybe this number isn't lying to me. It just looks like there's 30. I feel like I've hired a lot more than 30 in the past. Oh well, I'll believe 30. Still, I need the R&D set up for it. So, Research and Development Center. 1, 2, 3. Set up with you. Purchasing all the gasoline people. And get going. We want the gasoline fuel to be the most important one that we work on. Give you 2 years. Similar story here. Gasoline. And you work on the diesel fuel, since that's the next most important thing in terms of demand. And then it's a while away, but we'll have... You are starting on it, right? Of course you are. You guys are going to be working on... G for gasoline. Hire all these people. And start the R&D on the biofuel, which won't be ready for a while, but when it is, you'll be there to kick some ass. Now, are we sure there still aren't more talents available? Because I just hired 27 people, and you told me there were 30 available. No, the game is full of lies. There are still plenty of people to be hired, so we're going to make sure that we are constantly working on all gasoline techs. To that point, I better use the lesser known duplicate firm button there and there, and then get in the rest of those gas freaks. Or we could call them motorheads, I suppose. So even though I'm just using all imported goods for now, at least our tech can try to be competitive. You might think, haha, you've hired all the people that can research on motor goods. Surely nobody could even try to catch up with you in tech. There's 2 alternatives to that. There's a way to do risky tech, which throws you ahead if it works, and it can be quite expensive. But there's also the fact that they could go to other cities and get other people who are actually better than Vancouver's so-called best and brightest. In any case, that's that all running, hopefully. This is my cheese warehouse. Maybe it could also be my fuel warehouse. Or should I have a designated fuel warehouse so things don't get complicated? I think designated. Let's go full India here. In you go. And once this stuff starts pumping its way through... Oh, and of course once I make sure that my training is super maxed everywhere. Suddenly just thought, ooh, I've got lots of money, but yeah, it's not my money. You guys seem to be having some trouble here. Uh-oh. There is too much supply and not enough demand for the oil out of Grimsby. My production is going to be hampered by that. Gasoline products. In comes the diesel fuel. In comes the gasoline fuel. And let's make sure that these things can be sold to others for large amounts of money. Now, it's hard to know what the price of making these are because it's done by imported stuff, but it looks like it's about, well, if I just set it to under £1, it'll be fine for internal sale. The lubricant is now being produced. Glad to see it. Motor oil lubricant, in you come. And let's make sure other people can buy this if they so desire. Oh god, I love that markup. Get motor oil lubricant through the warehouse, and then I'm going to start setting up my my you-know-whats for it. Oh, how much does this stuff cost? Apparently it's cost me £5 to make some. Painful stuff. And the car shampoo is ready. Now I can't imagine there's a lot of markup to be had on you. Oh wow, you're cheaper for me to make than I thought. 57 cents to make you. Well, I am surprised and happy. Let's make sure other people can buy that. Make sure other people can buy you as well. And now that you're in here, we'll set you up for internal sale. Lovely and cheap. Okay, now the expensive part of this operation. You'd think getting the production set up would be the hard part, but no. RGOs and retail stores, that's the expensive part. I wouldn't want to just be a retailer. You can't control how much your product hits the shelves. So, retail store, gas station, had to do it eventually. And I'd say after turning around 300 million each year, seems only right to reward ourselves with some fossil fuels. Let's see where the most expensive places to set up in Vancouver are. Many of them are already taken. Sure wish I was in politics so I could tell these people to get a move on, but you know me. I don't do politics. It's the absolute golden rule we have on this channel. No politics. And I'm not too cross with people that break that. I'm incredibly cross with regulars that break that. They know better. Okay, here we go. That's a good setup for you right here. Beatrice is immediately in charge. That can be good and bad. I wonder if Beatrice can immediately fill this up with goods herself. Let's actually see what she does. Diesel fuel, gasoline, motor oil, lubricant, car shampoo. Those are all the goods we have. Well done! Oh, I am proud of you, Beatrice. You got that right in a oneer. Alright, well, I'm going to duplicate this firm and make sure it's everywhere. Grimsby. Grimsby, Grimsby, Grimsby. Hard idea thinking there's somewhere with high market value to establish yourself in Grimsby, but there you go. Acrona is saying that playing Space Station 13 and watching this is an ideal way to spend an evening. Well, not ideal, they're saying it's the best, but they're doubtlessly exaggerating, so we'll go with ideal. Feels good to be playing this. The hardest thing is going to be going the next 3 days without playing any more of this. I might squeeze in more of this after tomorrow's weekly one-shot, we shall see. Well, now that I've already said that, it's almost definitely going to happen. You know how these things go. Toulouse. I'm so glad I got COO when I did. If I was still manually sorting all these prices, I'd be going insane. Really hard to find good places to settle down around here. Oh, 63 is good. Sydney. Sydney is, well, is it good? I've never been. I like to poke fun at any place in the world, but sometimes you just don't know anything about it. It's horribly limiting, isn't it? Not having something that you know to slag off about someone or something. And then back in Vancouver. Wait, I already set up Vancouver's place, didn't I? Yeah, of course I did. It's right there. Nice. So again, it'll take a little while for the market to catch on. But we will be there, and I'm quite certain people are going to want our goods. Oh, they better want our goods. My crushing amount of debt depends on it. With that in mind, I am going to have a long think about this next part. I could borrow omega amounts of money and establish my oil well. I'm going to want it eventually. I might cut down on my costs by doing so. I'd certainly ensure the supply. Where's the oil again? Oh, heavens, yes. Just look at that oil well. Quality 98 for 400 million is just, You'd lick the grounds of Grimsby for that, but you don't have to. But you have to do it in Vancouver. But it's so expensive, 400 million. So, do I dare to borrow 200 million? And I'd also have to put out a bond. The thing is, this isn't immediately going to make me much money. I'd have to set up the mining operations as well, but the cost isn't a big deal. My big concern is somebody else gets on this oil instead of me. That's unacceptable. Also, the oil could be cut off, further prompting other people to do that. Ah, hell, let's just do it. Big risk. Let's mitigate big risk with a save. Not that we reload our saves, it just makes me feel better about my decisions. If there's one video game power I wish I could have in real life, it would be saving and loading. Well, there's a question for you. What video game power would you most like to have? I normally don't go into these kinds of hypotheticals, but earlier today I was struck by the question, if I could have 5 items out of Dominion's 5, one from each level, which one would I take? Boots of Youth are a given, but then I looked at the Chalice. Alright, let's get that dosh. Stop going off on these weird tangents. You know, I could actually get all of the money on bond. Might actually be better for me. My bond rating is still A. And I'd only need about 350 million. But I would probably want it out for the full 5 years, because making back that kind of money is big. Wait a bit until the profits from the oil come in. Audio sliders and certain sounds. Of all the powers you could have, you'd go for that. I don't think I want to wait, just in case somebody else takes this oil well. I'm just riddled with concern that somebody else would grab it, so let's just do it. It's a huge bond to put out. I'll have my guts for garters if this doesn't pay off, but there's my oil well. We're going to have 2 oil extractions set up. We'll have more in the future if we need to. We'll inventory the oil, and we will, of course, sell the oil. Let's wait until some of that passes through the system. There we go. There we go. This is actually more expensive than the stuff from Grimsby, but buying it from Grimsby incurs $30 of freight, so I think I'd rather not. No need for internal sale, but it will cost a lot for my high quality goods. Yeah, that's a fair price. And back over to here. Now I want that oil circulating. So the oil is actually going to come in through here. No, not gasoline, but oil. Oil from me comes in, through, and out at cost. And then I'm going to resource that for all of my factories that use it. Do I have anything else that uses oil, by the way, other than my gasoline products? Let's make sure this stuff is on internal sale at cost. Cost was about 33, I think. I'll have to double check that one. $36. It's not actually very important that I get the numbers right. But I want them right, so I guess they're important to me. I am keeping up with inflation though, right? CEO office. Adjust prices based on inflation. Good. Maybe you weren't doing that until now, though. And just for the hell of it, let's pay myself about, yeah, let's pay myself $2 million. Also good to now have the ability to acquire other people's tech if it comes to pass that I need it. Oil. Oil gets linked up with my own warehoused oil. Do it there. Do it here. You don't take oil. You do, though. Oil for Neptune. It's one of the funnier things that ever came from the Poly Bridge. Poly Bridge is so much fun. Looking forward to another bridge-based builder game that wins the long play, but That might be a while away. It's okay, I'm patient. Okay, that's our next big setup. Hopefully it proves as profitable as all the drug companies did. Speaking of, we never actually checked to see that our drug companies are that profitable. I'm just confident that they are. Nonetheless, let's go in here, check our firms, check our retail stores, and make sure that everybody... Oh, look at that, making bank. 3 million, 3 million, 2 million. These ones are just starting out, so I'm not going to begrudge them. They're non-millions. What are you again? The leather store. One of these leather stores not looking so hot. Don't know what that dip was. I'll just put that down to Beatrice being a bit of an airhead. Yeah, there was a big old dip. Maybe Vancouver recently... No, I've been looking at Vancouver. It's always been booming. God knows what that dip was, but I won't worry about it. Overall, they're profitable. That's what I like to see. You can bulk switch suppliers, says Micro. How? Any bulk tools that I don't know about in this game, I would love to hear about, because some things are a bit of a pain to keep dealing with like that. Right, I am my own client for oil, as expected. I'd wondered where you'd followed off to. Nope, just Twitch's buggy follow. Yeah, the follow system's god-awful. If you really want to know whenever I'm live... I mean, I hate to advertise the Discord, but it's where I always post an announcement that I'm going live with a ping that goes out. I wouldn't trust Twitch for that. I actually have a lot of channels that I follow, almost entirely people from within the community, but you just cannot trust Twitch to tell you when they're going live. I think it was when you chose a supplier. So when I go here, I can go to... This tells me who the supplier is. And then this is linking... Oh, batch! Apply the same supplier to other firms of yours. Go to firm report and select firms to apply the change. Ooh. Nice! So now everywhere that gets their oil gets it from there? That was only 3 industries, and I doubt it changed anything, but that's kind of cool. That's kind of very cool. That's going to make backwards integration a lot easier. Also, automatic pencil. What the heck is an automatic pencil? I shouldn't trust it because it came out of the furries, no matter what. What a demand for that oil. Should I be concerned? Am I not pouring out enough oil? Perhaps I should be concerned that you are working flat out and not meeting demand, but again, that's probably because it's going back through the warehouse. Yeah, not worried about that for now. Love seeing that market share thing fill up. I also love not buying in that expensive Grimsby oil. But I really need my own profits to be going, dare I say, to the moon. We'll be getting on something else really soon. Soon I'll have biofuel, and I'm pretty confident that Beatrice will automatically stock biofuel in our own... What are they called again? Gas stations? There we go. Call them petrol stations in the UK. God knows what they call them here in Sweden. What would they call them? I don't know. I do not know any of those words in Swedish. My market share here is a bit low. What if we turbo speed up? Hey, it's growing. Good, good. Yeah, it's early days for this. They'll get there. Oh, how much are you having to pay? Where's the furthest away from Vancouver? Sydney is. So in Sydney, how much freight is it to get my goods over here? I prefer to centralize rather than have every good produced everywhere, because somewhere down the line you're going to have to freight something. Well, that's not necessarily true, but I'm not setting up 5 different production lines for everything. Not just to cut down on freight costs. Centralization is just a whole lot better. So, yeah. It costs a lot more to freight it in here than it does to produce the fuel. The sorry state of affairs. But hey, the more we freight, the more those trucks need that fuel, right? Wrong. Sadly, freight is not actually anything other than this abstracted value here. But this game is continuing to get expansions. They're working on something right now. When I was modding the game, I found an electricity consumption value for all buildings. And when I looked into it, it said, this is not currently in use, placeholder for future expansion. So, I like the sound of that. That's actually a bit dangerous. Even when I am, in quotations, done with this game, it's going to drag me back kicking and screaming when there's new expansions put out for it. I can feel it already. Right, the bonds are at good rate, the interest perhaps less so. I should probably be working on repaying these. I have been living a life of debt for a long time now, but one thing I can feel ultra proud of is... I gotta stop using the word ultra, it's just, I don't know, it's my word of the month, I guess. I can feel pretty proud that our stock market is truly mooning, and I never once issued shares to the public. We could have raised 200 million around this point. If I wanted to buy it back at this point, it wouldn't even be four times that. It would be about 8 to 15 times that, because the private holders of it would demand more. Now, what I can seriously consider are any of the struggling companies that I might want to get a hefty amount of. It's always better if I can buy it straight from the public shareholders, but none of them have many shares. Public Cerberus is actually... the PE analysis considers Cerberus grossly overvalued. Not sure how much I can believe that, though. I wanted to get in on those insurance companies, but how are they doing again? It's all... I gotta remember which one is which. AI strategy... Stock overview. Damn it all. I wanted to buy this dip in Communism Labs. I didn't. I instead invested in myself. Probably for the better, but... oh god, I wish I had their stock right now. It was too expensive though, hundreds of millions. Nick freaking Brick. Tell you what though, maybe by now they've picked up even more of those, what are they called again, securities. So let's have a look at communism. Where's communism at? It must be very frustrating watching this and seeing me scroll past it again and again. There it is, Communism Lab. Owned securities, yeah, they've doubled up in the amount of securities they have. And they got 15 million on the global stock market. Oh, I like what I see on these guys. Lots and lots of stocks that I want. Not so much in the global, but local. And that can be put to good use, because if I want to own a company, then I could buy up this hefty amount of them. I could also look at other companies that own suspiciously large amounts of other companies, like Stars run by Tyrant Leon. Who the hell put in Tyrant Leon? How many people even know that Leon's a tyrant thanks to Resident Evil Gaiden? Mad people, that's who. Still, yeah, just look at the value of those securities. I think economic fall might be coming. GDP growth slowed down from 15 to 5%. Fortunately, most of what we sell is high consumer necessity index items. Even cheese is 40%. Fuel is massive. Fuel is 80%. And unsurprisingly, people still need to buy eggs when they don't have any money. They'll buy more eggs than chickens. The stuff that will suffer on my front are my leather goods. There's not a lot of desire for... not a lot of desire for leather bags in an economic downturn. 30% is still respectable. It's not like luxury cars or boats. Okay, gloves is where it starts going down, down, down. And I suspect that my drugs are still... okay, well, fertilizer. I still don't know why fertilizer's a drug. Face mask at 30. Headache pills at 50. I do like the reflection of real life in this. Right? If you're skint because you've lost your job, you're between jobs, right? And you know, you still need to see. Oh, right, actually, I suppose you wouldn't buy contact lenses. You'd go and get some glasses to save on costs. But if you start bleeding, you still need some band-aids. You still need to keep some gauze on hand. But more than anything, you still need to fuel your car and get places. This is going to become like Caesar 3 with the channel, says Rested Pandy. I don't think so. Because in Caesar 3, I can sit down, bash it out and be done. I never have, and doubt I ever will, have a two-parter on a single Caesar 3 city. But this It's pretty hard to sit down and bash out one session of Capitalism Lab. I can see this session going on for 60 plus hours given what we want to achieve here. Especially since previously we've been able to overtake the AI and crush them. Not going to be quite so easy here. I'm doing very, very well right now. I'm the top dog. But we had to fight to get to top dog, and I'm kind of stalling out because of debt. I don't think the Ravens have much debt right now. They're doing pretty good, solid telecommunication-related profit. I mean it always coming back again. We'll see. It might be more like... what's a good example? New expansion comes out, you jump into a game, then you jump back out. CK3, I suppose, but they've only had one expansion, and it didn't bring me back. I need a better example than that. FTL? Nah. FTL's done. I cannot actually ever see that return to the channel. We had a great run with Into the Airlock, but I feel like it would be flogging a dead horse at this point. Okay, I'm liking these profits. I'm still hesitant to speed up the game, but things are looking okay. I just really want to dig myself out of bond-related debt. The rates might be good on bonds, but I feel so uncomfortable being hundreds of millions in debt. Probably because of the scare that I had when playing the first time around. Remember when we had to prop up our own bank? I remember that. Okay, I'm more hundreds of millions in debt than I remember. But at least the annual interest isn't half of our money like it was before. FTL MV edition. I don't know what MV edition is. There's a Captain's edition, but someone could dictator They could, but I doubt they would. And if they did, I'd lose all respect for them, and I'm pretty certain others would as well. Okay, things are slowing down in Sydney. It's gotten static over there. I reckon a big slump is coming, and that's actually a good opportunity for us to buy up some... Oh, I just had an incredibly devilish idea. Beatrice wants to increase her salary again massively. I'll do it, but it's because it's you. A devilish idea I've had. Those insurance companies have not gone into the global stock market. They have kept in the local stock market. If we have a big crash here, I will be able to buy them pennies on pounds, and I will own the insurance. I will then probably stop investing in local companies and put it in the global stock market, because with realistic stock sim enabled on this one, or I think it's alternative stock sim, the global stock market is not affected by these few cities, which makes a lot more sense. I mean, what does it matter to Boots that Vancouver is sinking like a rock? Oh my god, they're all... If you'd gone into the stocks just at the start of the game with all your money, your returns would be great. Jinkies. Still, I would quite like to have insurance companies to invest into here. Stock value, though, $149 billion of ACS Group. And that's just child's play. $1.1 trillion at Checkpoint. More than China Trust. Man, I like what I see. I want some of this for myself. Their successes should be my successes, and my successes should be my successes. You can see there Medibay Heat getting in on soft banks, owning 78,000 of them. Love to see it, but I need the money myself right now. I don't need it, but I want it. I'm just trying to clear off some of this loan of mine that I have. Although, what I could be doing is already thinking about the next industry that I want to get on, now that I have delightfully embraced the ways of the local oil production. Haha, the wealthy furries want my oil. Yes! They're gonna make some dye stuff. But they need that dye stuff to go somewhere. They're trying to put it on e-commerce, but I don't think it's enough. Are the bonds and global stocks mods? Nope. No, the game has that as part of one of their DLCs. I forget which one it is, probably the Financial World. I haven't played vanilla this. As soon as I bought the game and saw what it was, I immediately bought all the DLC because I knew I wanted the full experience here. I knew it would suck me in and I didn't want to play with half the fiddle. I wanted all 4 fiddles. And if you get the DLC, you get to play with the experimental DLC, which allows a few other things for free. Was it subsidiaries or banking? I don't know. Like I said, I've barely touched this game just as a base game. I immediately jumped on those DLCs. Right, I lost my train of thought, but I think it was something to do with oil. I wanted to see what else is made of oil. So let's check what can be done with you. Dye stuff, plastic, polyester, asphalt, paint. Ooh, building materials require oil. Nobody's currently in on that. I don't make silica, but it is available in the market. Dye stuff is available now, thanks to the curious furries. And of course the gasoline stuff. Building materials are a little bit tempting, aren't they? Somebody in a previous stream said, ooh, get on building materials. I never did, but... Bricks, pipes... they have low necessity index, and since I can feel the crunch coming, I don't really want to get into that. Thanks for the Sushi Andromeda. Unsure about that one. Thanks to the Travel Books Workers Guild of Fushia, but we're not going to the Sacred Divine Pillar. Don't forget biofuel, Jake. I don't think the sunflowers are done yet. My sugar is, though. And my sunflowers are. Oh, maybe they've been done for a while and I've just ignored them. Well, that's on me now, isn't it? Sugar has many uses rather than just biofuel, so I'm going to link it into here. Sugar mush. In you go. Anyone could buy this sugar. Get away from me, dried cat food. All these people making new goods. And same, I suppose, for sunflowers. Let's bring in the sunflower here. Link in sunf. And if somebody wants my sunflowers, well, let them have it. Means I can set you up for biofuel now. Ooh. Well, nice of the game to tell us that we're the top dog in manufacturing, farming, and nowhere else. Oh god, did I only have 30 years to accomplish this? That's not going to happen. I'm not really caring about the time limit. This will take as long as it wants to take. Where do you get this game? Is it on Steam? It's not on Steam. It's available on their own website. But hey, if you really want the game, I think I can help you out there. The game's devs were kind enough to hand me a few keys for the game, so I'm going to punch 5 of them into chat. But the first one is for Mr. ME90. Don't anybody go and take that away from him. I'm sure you wouldn't be so cruel. There's going to be 4 others that come in right now. Punching this into Steam won't get you anywhere. You have to go into their own website and register these, but then you'll have the game for yourself. There we go. Enjoy. I know I do. Jake, you underestimate the monsters of this game. I know they're monsters, right? It's just putting pressure on people to pull the thumb out their butt and go and get it themselves. You see that key? I told you to get it. If you let somebody else take it, that's entirely on you. Right, enough being too cruel. Let's have a look at these. I want these sunflowers sold at cost. Cost for them is 11 cents. Internally sold, of course, right? External people will have to pay the big bucks for it. And then also sugar. What was that Russian phrase? Sugar mush. That's what it sounded like, but I don't know my Russian. 1 cent for a pound of sugar? Amazing. And I've got 1,000,000 pounds of sugar. Feels great. Again, sell it internally at cost. And let's make sure we got that biofuel going. Thanks for the key, says Roark. You're very welcome. The way I see it, it all works out in my favor, right? Building up more interest in games like these should encourage more games like these, right? Biofuel, it's ready. Go. Make sure that we get everything from our warehouses. Sunflowers included. And then once it's flown through the system here, we'll make sure it goes into the warehouse. Ooh, I should make sure that Beatrice is getting it from the warehouse. I'm going to be very sad if she's not. I think she does, but I want to be sure that she is getting it from there. Link it up with biofuel. And this is not an internal sale. Kind of works to my benefit if Wow, biofuel is practically free for me to make because I control all the everything that goes into it. I can't charge a price low enough for it. Cool. Beatrice, I want to make sure that you're doing things right here. That looks good. The costs seem right. I'm a little worried that the lubricant is so incredibly expensive to buy in, but that's probably because I don't control everything that goes into lubricant. I'm going to check that. Always worth checking that stuff out. It's supplied from here, and yeah, go figure. Because I have to buy in other people's chemical minerals and their plastics. I could make plastic myself. Plastic is just made from oil and... just from oil. Huh. I could be a plastic mogul. And my plastic would be incredibly high quality. Actually, a lot of it's down to production tech. A suspiciously large amount of it. But I could make the best plastic around. It is used in approximately everything. And if people were getting it from me... Oh, well, you know, why the heck not? We can be the plastic man. We can have the best plastic around. I'm going to get on that. This will be something that I wholesale and also use for my own goods, so I'll be able to cut down on my own costs, as well as absorb other people's need for it. Normally I don't like going in for wholesaling, but everybody needs plastic. And if I'm the one that's on it, especially if I do it in Vancouver, where prices are low, although they are rising, I think my existence in Vancouver is keeping it artificially out of the incoming... Well, looks like everywhere's good, but I like to think that I'm keeping Vancouver on its legs. All plastic, it's fantastic. Glad to hear it. It's not very capitalistic to get it for free. Oh, you mean the version of the game? Not too worried about it. What was my thought there? Right, mega factory. If there's one thing that needs mega factorying, it's going to be plastic. So, here we go. You make plastic. Make sure that that oil is being sourced from the warehouse. And then I will want my own plastics, right? Why don't I put it in through a designated warehouse? The thing is, there's probably going to need to be a lot of plastic flowing out for goods, so a designated plastic warehouse isn't as daft as it might sound. But it's still pretty daft, so I don't think I'll do that. Or will I? It's probably going to be a lot of need for plastic. Yeah, I can see there being a huge demand for plastic. Yeah, let's get designated. This is so daft, but okay. So, you're going to make that plastic for me. Come on, come on, come on, come on. There we go. How much does it cost for this plastic? It cost me 30 cents to make some plastic, and I'm selling it for 62. We're going to compare how that does for others shortly. Plastic. Unfortunately, you offer it for cheaper. And, well, our quality is slightly better. Your freight costs are through the roof, though, but we're going to have similar freight costs. Difficult choice, but I'm going to link in 2 lots of plastic here. Maybe even 3. I honestly think I'm going to need a lot of plastic for a long time here. Oh, maybe not, maybe not. This means I'm going to have a lot of crappy plastic stuck back here. Might not be what I'm after. But what I am after is a designated R&D center. 2, perhaps even. We'll make the best plastic. Or no, let's not get carried away here, right? Plastic is not the suddenly be-all and end-all of everything. I'm pretty sure plastic is a semi-product. Yep. So I need somebody that can do research on products. Get them all and tell them we need the best plastic around. There we go. Every 2 years, bump up the plastics. So I actually wouldn't mind selling my plastic relatively cheap, just to make sure plastics come through me. That's not an amazing markup, but just the thought of everybody become relying on my plastic, and then bit by bit that price goes up. How can I say no to it? I can't. It's not possible. Okay, I I honestly shouldn't have these whatsoever. But this plastic is for internal sale at cost, surprisingly. I'm actually very surprised that plastic costs as much as it does to make. How is it costing so much, actually? I make this oil. You're getting it at cost from the warehouse. Very surprised, actually. What can we... Maybe it's because my oil is so high quality? Not even sure that makes much sense. Where's my oil thing here? I'm seeing the Greater Denmark flag and thinking it's me. There we are. Nobody wants to buy my oil directly from here, sadly. I do want them to buy it from me if they're ever going to do it, so I'm even going to drop the price a bit. The demand for oil is higher than what I can make right now, but I'm sure that's just the... I am sure that's just the warehouse stocking it up. Or maybe not. Maybe not. Wow, you are working flat out on biofuel. But again, it's warehouses. Nah, it looks okay. Just in case, though. Let's extract a little more oil. Ah, hell, who's keeping score? Extract as much oil as you can. Oh, the sales are working flat out at 100%, so I might even need another sales place set up for it. Might actually need 5 extractors and 3 sales, depending on how much oil flows. Not the end of the world to rejig this later on. Let's train them harder so they can work better. Make sure everybody is on ultra maxed training. There's that word ultra again. I need like an ultra jar. You know how it is, a word just gets stuck in your head, you want to use it everywhere. Man, I'm liking things how they are right now. I was genuinely worried I'd have grave difficulty making a profit, especially when the first figures started coming in for our eggs and chickens and things. Whoa now, Lanka. No one's allowing you to charge that much for my chickens. The quality of my my farm produce has gone up so high that I'm a very attractive person to buy from. Frankly, a little too attractive. Just think of the Ultramarines. I'm thinking about how many people are buying my frozen beef and selling it at way too much of a markup. That's not a markup at all. Actually, I should be focusing on these guys that sell it for hella markup. There we go, I've got to drop my quality. I don't mind them buying from me, it's actually good that they buy it from me, but they should be buying it from me at a respectable rate. Okay, okay. Again, I wish there was a better way to see who my clients are. I'm a surprisingly low amount of the ham industry. Why is this? Why is nobody buying my ham? My brand is good, my quality is fantastic. My overall rating is better than the average. I think it's just that there aren't that many people that want high-priced ham. They want some low-priced ham. It's going to be hard to get market dominance like that, but I can always crush the competition later on and squeeze the market. Right now, making good money on what I have here ain't too shabby, especially if other people's buying it off of me. Since you're into petrochemicals now, how about some synthetic rubber for car tires? Are car tires actually something that are in demand themselves? But you're right, I should be looking into stuff that I can do with my petrochemicals. That word takes me straight back to Rise of Industry. At least it isn't like the guild. Oh, you've got a dead family member? Pay up then, I run the only graveyard. Well, it can pretty much be like that. People have a choice to not buy my goods. Whoa, speaking of which, we're not meant to have an internal sale on plastic. Get me some clients. I'm happy to see that I am the market for plastics, but that's just because people aren't making things out of plastic, I suspect. So that's a decent rate for it. $2 for a pound of ham. I pay good one €30 for a kilo. kind of... Well, it's 1996 in the game, it's not 2022. Supply for sugar looks rather hard, but I am the sugar market. Love to see it. I just love to see it. Okay, petrochemicals. What are my options there? Now that I have the... Oh, right. One thing worth doing. Everywhere that I need plastic for, which I think is a bunch of this stuff. Chemical... What needs plastic? Something here needs plastic. I'm still getting this from my seaport, which is bad. So I need to go supplier, no, link, yes, batch, yes, batch from my warehouse, batch switch supplier. 8 places are now getting my own plastics rather than seaport plastic. What else was I producing that need plastic? I think it shows up as switched if it didn't actually switch as well. It's going to throw me a little bit, but only a little. $30 for a kilogram of ham. Get those pigs fed with Kobe beef. Now that would be some real power play there. These are only selling me 4 different things. Why are they not selling biofuel? Gasoline, diesel, motor oil. You're selling diesel twice, you dafty. Sell my biofuel. Yeah, there should be 5 different things. Yeah, okay, right. Diesel, gasoline, motor lubricant, car shampoo. That's 4. But then you're doing these again, which you really shouldn't be doing, so... Let's just change that up for biofuel. This is the kind of stuff that I'm sure people don't like having COOs for, but I still think it's worth the hassle. There we go, get that biofuel flowing. Although I can kind of see why you are doing more. The demand is sky high. What I can do though is give you a new floor to work with, and then it's up to you how you fill them out. Less thinking for me if you react to demand. It's also probably a less ideal outcome, but there we go. As time passes, you'll fill those out. We'll hit more of the demand with that, and hopefully we continue to produce everything that they need. Yeah, we're meeting demand nice and easily. Oh, Beatrice, who just cheesed me off, comes straight into my office and demands another $1 million. I'm paying you way too much, but imagine if we'd gotten in the other guy. Senator Armstrong was going to demand $8 million from the outset. Okay. I'm liking this. I'm liking even more the fact that I'm paying off my debt. In fact, I would be debt-free if it weren't for the enormous amount of bonds that I put out. Those bonds mature in 97... the 100 million matures next year. 2 years after, 300 million. Do they leave if you don't give them a raise? Yeah. You lose standing with them, and that's usually enough to make them want to leave. Because every character... Ooh. How do I check you out, Beatrice? Probably easiest if I go to one of my shops and go here. Here we go. Attitude towards you, good. And that will build up over time as you pay them and give them raises, but if you deny it, it goes down. And if they hate you, they'll walk out on you, and they will also... What am I thinking here? They'll also refuse to be rehired by you until they start liking you again, and I don't know how long that takes, but I've never seen it work before. We need a marketing officer right now. Hopefully they'll be able to do a good job of whatever, but we need somebody who's the best at marketing expertise. Who's the top job? Penultimo! Our very own Penultimo, 100 rating on marketing, the best around. How much would he want? As a CMO, he would demand 8 million. But TBW is also good at marketing. And so is Barry Burton and Maximilian and Ubin. And then after that it starts trailing on down. Who should we get, chat? They're all the same to me. But you can choose who we bring in. Ubin, Max, Barry Burton, TBW, or Penultimo. Has to be Penultimo for El Presidente. Right, and you come then. Our grossly overpriced CMO. And I want you to ensure that things are looking good. Decide what to advertise. I don't see why not. Choose the media firms and decide advertising budgets. Yeah, I don't see why not. Alright, well, I'll trust you, but certainly prefer our own media firms, even though I don't have any. Now, I'm not sure that Penultimo was actually going to justify his cost right now, because the CMO, the COO, was taking care of advertising anyway, but he might be more effective at it. I don't know. I don't actually know what that level in marketing does. There's nothing to hover over and say this is what that does. Maybe it was in the manual, but I didn't check. Of all your elites, he has the least that you can tweak around with as far as I can tell, but hopefully he'll get the job done well. Maybe give him a budget. That's for mass changing all budgets here. And then I have to apply this. And I don't actually want to tell him to apply that to everything. He'll probably automatically change it later on anyway. It's kind of like how you can apply this training level. Just in it goes and down it goes. I don't need a... Well, I might not be too bad to get a CTO to try and boost my research rate right now. What if I look for candidates and get myself the best R&D expertise individual here? Frank West. Again, chat, we need you to decide. We got Bellcat. They were around for the State of Decay 2 run. Frank West has been around for a lot of wars. Archibald Vile. Charles Frost. Alright, so we got four good options. I can't hire Rance, he's a mayor. Archibald. It has to be Archie. Alright, Archie. On you come. CTO. God, that's getting expensive. Do not change R&D budgets. Do not change training. Actually, why... I have no idea why I would ever want him to change training. I like to keep training maxed at all times, so... I'm not going to do that, and I am going to put Archibald Vile in charge of every R&D center. And you know what? Before I do that, why don't we... Can we get some people noting things down? Does anything change on this when we put in Archibald Vile? The target tech is still going to be 89. Not sure having him in charge changes anything for this. Maybe when there's a new tech done? Don't know. Maybe having like an Archvile constantly setting you on fire is good for morale when you... Oh, well this thing's about done. Maybe there'll be a bigger step up. It just became a step up of 26. I don't know what it was before. I wasn't paying enough attention, but I don't think it made much odds there. Wealthy furries with the... It's kind of prophetic, some of the combinations that come about. Also, couldn't help but notice that my profits are going down. That is why. But this is opportunity. Vancouver is being kept artificially alive. Oh my goodness. I love those. I don't think they're called Savoyards, though. They're called... I can't remember the name of them, but they're delicious, and you'd surround a... you'd want to surround a cake with it. I think I have a special name, can't remember it. Also, my employee Sheldon, working in product R&D, has resigned. That'd be nice if I knew where. Here we go. So they obviously didn't like being zapped by Archibald Vile. Can I hire somebody else? This is on leather, so I need somebody else that's good with leather goods here. Wait, that's the same guy, Sheldon Griffiths. They just come straight back. Why did they leave? Maybe I should raise everybody's salary by a bit. There you go, 5% raise for everybody. Oh, well, loyalty just went up like crazy there. People like a 5% raise, it seems. Alright, I'm not so happy that the income is going down there, but... It's somewhat to be expected. It's a recession in Toulouse, it's a contraction in Chengdu, and unlike Vancouver, those places actually have real wage rates. Wait, why is everybody resigning now that I've put Archibald Vile in charge? Not sure I'm happy with that. Well, I'm sure that I'm unhappy with that. I just gave you a raise as well, what do you like? Gasoline product, come on, get back in there. Oh, well the loyalty around here doesn't seem so hot. Oh, it's specific for this firm. Ah, I see. And they didn't get much of a loyalty boost out of it. You guys seem happy though. Yeah, their loyalty's all kind of crummy here. You'll join in with that when they get back to it. Why is everyone resigning now that I put Vile in chat? Oh man, yesterday Vile was on my side. Today he's out to get me. Okay, Skelly Syndicate's making some elegant shoes for the Skeleton Army. As long as we can keep the profits up in the few hundred millions, we're okay. Remember, I have got a bond that is maturing next year, and I need to be somewhat ready for it. I should also start thinking if there are other farms that I want to get operational right now. Again, the sooner I have them operational, the sooner I'm going to have quality 100 goods available. Even if I don't need to use them right now, it's not like farms cost me that much. What's the upkeep in a farm again? 20,000 a month. If I had a bunch of large farms all pumping out various other goods, I could even be wholesaling them until I find a better use for them myself. It is tempting. And there's no particularly good reason not to, so why don't I, for example, make myself a wee medium farm here. And, oh, Crivens, what would bees be under? Are bees a livestock? Well, this is exactly what I have a farmer's guide for. Hives are a livestock. Let's make some honey. We'll use you. And we'll make sure we're having bees. I reckon one of each of those should be plenty for demand for a while, so what else can we raise here? Sericulture for silk, why not? I just want to have these things going so that I can get good quality stuff out. So get me the honey, get me the beeswax, get me the silk, and just sell this to whoever wants it. I don't need this stuff on internal sale. Well, what's this all about? Of course somebody else is out in that beeswax, aren't they? Which would make a bit more sense for the car shampoo, which needs beeswax, to instead get its own supply from myself. I don't like the fact that this is not coming in from a warehouse. Again, I thought Greater Denmark was myself there. No, here we are. It's actually pretty crap quality, but it will get better in time, so... And it's a lot cheaper for us to get for ourselves there, so here we go. But the honey and stuff, I mean, I don't know what good that honey is going to be. I just want the quality ready for it. Okay. Keeping a good eye on that recession. Okay, great. Everywhere but Vancouver's in recession. Probably because, relatively speaking, they are a recession. Unemployment seems to be going up. Real wages holding in the other places. But what I'm very curious in is that stock market. The stock market was 90% of what we were doing in our campaign previously, when we had to take out all the competition. It's been a long time resisting, but let's have a look at it now. I would expect it to fall... Wait, this is global. Local stock market. Order by price. Nah, order by corporation. Nah, order by price. Since the recession just started, I guess we're not going to see the immediate effects. Wow, the wealthy furries collapsed. What happened there? One dreads to think. Some of these are doing really bad, but I'm mostly interested in the insurance companies. And that's what the old men, the Medibay heating, and... Damn, Medibay heating's looking really good there. Ah, but of course, we're going to wait for the big stock crash after the recession really takes its effect. Then we're going to see if we can stroll in and buy up everything. Jake, I just remembered the old men in the communist Medibay. Communism. Communism's actually looking alright, but I have a feeling it's going to go a lot worse. Their market cap is 800 million, and that's doubtlessly all of the stock that they have. We can check out their details. Why do I feel like the order of this changes every time? Probably because it's sorted like that. Just do it by... AI strategy is probably a good way to do it. That way, Communism Lab is near the bottom here. Owned securities. Pathetic amount of global stock, but some actual amount of local stock. Yeah, so I'm waiting on those stock prices to crash, and then I'll see if I can muscle my way into the insurance business. Holy moly, Stars have $1 billion worth of local stocks. They're diversifying there. Anybody else got $1 billion or more? That's $1 million, not $1 billion. Whew. Nuln Oil, Datadyne. Guandu. Okay, so my competitors are getting big into the stocks. Curse them. I'm really starting to wonder. I put Archibald Vile in charge and suddenly everybody is wanting to resign on me. What is this for? For leather, right? And the funny thing is I can just buy them back. Why is this even a thing? Oh well, as long as they keep on going there. I wonder if Archibald Vile can hire people for R&D centers. He can't change things, but I don't know if he can hire or not. Yes, you do take over the stocks when you fully buy out a competitor, and if you own 75% or more of their company, you can choose what they do with the stocks. You can make them sell it and, oh, I don't know, then buy those stocks with your own company. Unfortunately, with the stock settings I have right now, I'm a little more limited in that I cannot transfer stocks between my subsidiaries and myself, but I can still sell it to the public and buy it back, or just merge the company and take their stocks. What's happening again? What is going on here? Why are they all leaving me? Again, I just need to bring in somebody else's into leather. It's the same guy, Brute Paul. I think they're getting more skilled as I train them up. I'm going to give you a salary raise and hope that you remain a little bit more loyal. Company with loyal will not be headhunted. Maybe they're getting headhunted, but then why am I able to buy them back so easily? I do not know. Could you potentially chain taking over? Yes, and indeed we did do that when we played before. When we had a lot of money, we targeted companies that had stocks in other companies that we needed to take over. We took them, grabbed the shares, took them, grabbed their shares, rinse and repeat. It didn't make things magically free for us, but it certainly cut down on some costs. Also, Unji's making vodka lemons here. What's up with that? Is Unji big on bars? Yeah, she's huge on alcohol. So the Dance Macabre has been getting into that. Worth noting. It's going to be harder to get into alcohol with you there. I am really happy with what's happening money-wise. I wonder if I could get rid of my bonds already. The interest rate seems to be falling. Remind me, in a recession, does interest rate go up or down, typically? Because that's something I'd want to make a call on now, isn't it? Ones that mature soon, might as well buy out what I can. Other people have bought up my bonds. I can't just take it off of them. Are there any other really good yielding bonds out there right now? Oh, my bakeries are putting out some 6% bonds. I don't know why they're putting out such high yield bonds. What's wrong with my bakeries? Problem is there's no stopping Jimmy Hopkins, right? They're into everything. Wait, why did I click on them and come to the Zunis Church? Bakeries. Profit seems to be struggling. Stock price is going way down. They might not survive. But they have a lot of everything, right? I mean, they've got plenty of net worth. Do you think they can bounce back? If they can bounce back, this is an excellent opportunity to buy up some of them. Pretty much the only thing they're making money on are bookcases and economic sim games. Some products they're even making losses on. Like their frozen goats. Is there any stopping Jimmy Hopkins? That was the bakeries. I reckon the stock price is going to go further down given the economic crunch that we're entering into. Doesn't help the fact that there are no... God, nobody has any publicly available stocks except for the Zunis Church. Not sure I want to buy those. Over 6 million I don't. Okay. Well, I'm happy enough with this. In fact, I'm so happy that we're going to call it there, and I am going to hang up my boots this evening, and I'm going to slot this in for tomorrow after the weekly one-shot, because I don't think I can go 3 days without playing more of this. Make a new save. Perfect. 006. Now, I've been really happy with this so far, because unlike our previous run on Real World, it hasn't just been a free runaway of money. We have had to work for it, and our initial stuff didn't make that much money, and now we're about to enter our first real crunch. We should survive because we've been investing into industries that have high necessity index. So no matter how poor people get, they're still going to buy my frozen goats. Maybe not so much my leather wallets and bags and that. God, I love this game. Looking forward to getting back to more of it. Shouldn't leave away without giving away a few more keys of this game, because if you've seen this and thought, ooh, I'd like to get into that, then by all means, grab one of the keys that's going into chat right now. You won't find this on Steam or anything. You go and register it on the Capitalism Lab website, and then have some fun with it yourself. As for me, I'll be having more fun with this tomorrow after the weekly one-shot, so until then it's a cheers and a cheerio.